welcome to another Sunnyside Design video today. We again are here with another Halloween video. We love Halloween around here, and we've gotten some inspiration from some stores. We like to purchase new things here and there, but more than that, we like to recreate them because we are thrifty gals.
We are. We want to find a way to do it cheaper than what we'd have to pay for it.
So I'm going to show you my inspiration piece right here. Those cool skeleton cameos, silhouettes, busts, whatever you want to call them. I loved these. We found them at home, and they were...
Do you remember how much they were?
$50 a piece.
Right.
So
Yikes.
I was kind of not going to pay that. So we found these little jewelry busts, and we are going to recreate them. So stick around. All right, so here's a better look at my inspiration pieces. Again, they were $50 a piece. I think they're really awesome, but I am just not going to pay that much. But that's what we're going for, and you'll see how we make it. To start, I found these plastic skeleton skulls at the Dollar Tree. So of course, for $1, you cannot beat that. I am first just applying a couple coats of white chalk paint to them. The chalk paint will adhere to the plastic, so it's key that you use chalk paint for this. Now you can buy chalk paint in a spray paint medium as well if you would prefer doing that. We just had this on hand from other projects, so we just like to use what we already have. So make sure that you let the paint cure between each coat and then let it fully dry before beginning on the next step. After the skulls have fully dried, you're going to want to distress them a little bit. So to do this, I have mixed some dark gray paint with a lot of water just to get it really watered down. And I'm painting the entire skull and then using a wet washcloth, removing any of the excess paint. So what this is going to do is leave that dark paint in the grooves, the detailed areas of the skull, and this is really going to make them stand out and make it look a little bit aged and like distressed skull. Now, if you'd rather not go to the time and work of painting your skulls that you find, that is completely optional. Here is a look at the before and in the process and the after photo. So you can see what the painting does. It just brings out a lot more detailing in the skull. So just wanted to point that out to you. You don't have to do it, but this is what you'll get if you do. For the neck piece that I'm using, this came in just a bag of bones that I've had for years. And I'm using just a kitchen knife to cut through it. And then I also painted it the same method just so everything would be cohesive and match. Then to create the hole in the bottom of the skull for the neck piece to fit into, I'm using a wood drill bit to just drill right through the skull. You could use just a pair of scissors for this because it is plastic. It was easy to go through. I just thought a drill bit would be a little bit easier to get a nice circle shape. I don't recall what size of bit I used, but it will probably just depend on what size of neck piece that you find for your own piece anyway. You just want it big enough for it to fit through. And again, you can see that my bit wasn't even big enough, so I am using scissors to fit the neck piece in. So scissors do work great. It is just plastic, so it trims really easily. A little bit of the paint is coming off, but once the neck piece is in there and glued into place, you're really not going to see that paint that has come off. If it does by chance, just touch it up with paint again. Once I was able to fit the neck piece in there, I just secured it with some hot glue, holding it into place while it dried. I picked up these jewelry busts at Hobby Lobby. I believe they were about $7 a piece, and then I used a 40% off coupon on one. I like to save monies. So I am using this same drill bit to put a hole in the top of the jewelry bust as well. You will want to pull back the velvet fabric just so it doesn't get caught in the drill. I learned that the hard way on my first one. So this is pretty hard stuff to get through. I was really surprised. It's just cardboard, but it took a while to get through. So just keep going. You will for sure want a drill bit for this. I don't think scissors will do the trick. I did have to use a knife to make the hole a little bit bigger as well, because remember that the drill bit wasn't big enough for the neck piece, so I did have to make it a little bit bigger. Once I was able to fit the neck piece into the hole, I secured it with hot glue. I also secured the black velvet back down on the jewelry bust with hot glue as well. For the female skeleton, I thought it would be fun to add a little choker to the neck and a little headband to the skull as well. So I have used a black stretchy ribbon that I found at Hobby Lobby, and for the rhinestone piece on the collar, the choker, we got those through totallydazzled.com, and we will have a link for those below. They are really great. We've used them on a ton of other projects. We can link those below as well. To secure the rhinestone to the choker, I'm just using hot glue, and then again to put it on the neck piece, hot glue is holding it as well. And I'm just sticking some purple feathers into the headband just to make it maybe look like a little flapper girl, just to give her a little bit of character and personality. So again, we like to use supplies we already have on hand. So believe it or not, this is scrap fabric from my wedding dress. So it was kind of fun to find that in the scrap bin. I wanted this to just look a little bit formal, Victorian feel, but also vintage. So I just trimmed a piece that would go around this jewelry bust, and I'm hot gluing it into place around the top parts and then just wrapping it around and securing it with glue. And as I got to the bottom of the bust, I just trimmed off any of the excess fabric so that the silhouette, or not the silhouette, the skeleton would sit flat on the ground. Since I was dressing up this female skeleton, I had to dress up the male as well. So I took a trip to our local thrift store, and I got a white dress shirt that it was about size 2T for the collar. And I just took a pair of sewing scissors and cut right below the collar line. Then I simply just buttoned it around the neck. To keep this Victorian feel consistent, I wanted to create an ascot to dress this skeleton up. So I picked this tie up at our thrift store as well, and simply cut the bottom of the tie off, maybe about 7 inches or so. Then I layered the cut piece on top to get an idea of where I wanted to create the next V shape. So I fold this part in half, and then using scissors cut on an angle, and it will give you a nice pointed piece when you open up the necktie. Then I took it to the ironing board, ironed it, and then glued it closed with hot glue gun. I then placed this new section I created on top of the larger V-shape section and trimmed it to the same length. Then I just gathered the top edges and ruched them a little bit and secured them with hot glue gun. Once both pieces were glued together with their ruched or their pleated areas, I glued the smaller section on top of the larger one. And that is how I attached it to the jewelry bust as well. To really finish the ascot off, I also secured another Totally Dazzled gem onto his collar area as well. Now the final touch for the male skeleton is his top hat. So rather than hunting around several stores for the right size of top hat that would work, I was just going for what I could find at the thrift store. So I found this little Easter bucket and just spray painted it black. So you can use whatever you want, whatever you can find, but that's what I did. Once the hat was dry, I brought it back upstairs and traced it onto a piece of black cardstock. This will be the rim for the hat. And then once I had that, I outlined probably another inch or so bigger, another circle, so that would be the outside edge of the rim. Once that has been traced, cut out a little opening in the middle of the circle cut out, and to make it fit on the inside of the hat, I cut little slits up towards that other line that you can see is drawn there. This will just allow it to fit properly up in there, and I glued it all with hot glue gun. To finish off the hat, I glued on some rhinestone mesh ribbon from Totally Dazzled as well. Don't you just love them? I thought they turned out pretty cool, and I saved a lot of money doing it this way. So what do you think? Is this something that you think you would try? And how would you dress them up? How would they fit in your Halloween themed house? Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to our channel, comment, we love hearing from you, and be sure to watch all of our other Halloween craft tutorials we have out there. We'll put them in our links below. They are also in our Halloween playlist, so be sure to watch those. Let us know what you think, which ones you like, and be sure to also follow us. We're on all areas of social media. The links can be found below. And again, thanks for watching, and as always here at Sunnyside Design, we hope to bring your home to the sunny side of the street.